So you have a couple that tried to rent a place to stay, and the landlord had one requirement. The requirement was whites only. Let's go roll the clip.
Seemed like a really good deal. I seen $10.50, so I was really surprised. So I proceeded to message her and say if it's still available.
Michael Friginette and his wife, Ashley, thought they found the perfect home on Kijiji for them and their 3 kids. But then the landlord answered his question.
I got a response back asking what my nationality was and that I have to be white. So that kind of hit me by surprise, and I was like stunned. I couldn't believe it.
Michael told Ashley, who was stunned. She then contacted the landlord. She asked if she could view the unit. The landlord's response: "Can you tell me how many people to rent, your nationality of all, and they must be white?" Ashley responded, "I am white, but my husband is not. Is that okay?" Only a 2-word response from the landlord: "Sorry, no."
We live in a Brampton, most multicultural city, and, we've never had that happen. You hear of it happening all the time, and then when it happens to you, it's like it's a completely different feeling.
It is always a surprise when it happens, but then again, it's not.
Joanna Gupta of the Federation of Metro Tenants Association says with the tough rental market in the GTA, some landlords are feeling emboldened enough to often say and do things that might leave you stunned. Gupta says as well the divisive politics in the U.S. and Trump's recent travel ban overturned are having an effect here. The travel ban south of the border, it doesn't apply here, and you wouldn't be able to apply it anyways, would you?
No, and as a landlord, again, you're not allowed to discriminate against a tenant based on their place of origin.
Gupta says any and all of that is quite simply illegal, both under the Residential Tenancies Act and the Human Rights Code.
For a lot of tenants, this can be a tricky process, and many are afraid that by the time the legal process has come to a conclusion, even if the tenant is successful, they're still probably going to not have a place to stay.
Gupta says if you don't want to go to court, there are other options, such as simply putting pressure on the landlord, but with the help of the Center for Equality Rights in Accommodation. The Friginettes haven't decided what they will do next, but they would like to meet the landlord.
If you could talk to her, what would you want to say?
Just don't do that to people. It's not right. It hurts. It really hurts people.
Now, Michael and Ashley said the hardest thing they've had to do is tell their kids about what's been going on, but they say it's important that they be open about how people treat them as a family.
So I see that the poison of Donald Trump and his white supremacist team is spreading in Toronto as well, I see. And I think it's good that these white supremacists are coming out in the forefront, saying whites only and doing all this stuff, because you need to go ahead and expose yourself for who you really are. Now, the biggest problem I had with this story was the black guy. At the end of the story, they asked him one question, and yet that question was not answered correctly at all. Why do you want to sit there and tell that white supremacist anything? Why? That woman that was the white supremacist, that was the landlord, was very clear. She don't like you. She don't want to rent to you or nobody that associate with you. Why do you want to say anything? And I'm sick of black people with that. And black people here in America too. You're always trying to talk to these white supremacists and convince them and act like they have sympathy for you and empathy for you. Well, maybe we just explain it to them. They don't like you. They don't. Get in your head. And another thing, stop getting your doggone feelings hurt all the time with them. My God. I told y'all, if a dog barks, if a cat meow, and you're not surprised about that, well, don't be surprised when they do this type of stuff. Y'all get on my nerves, some of y'all black people. Oh, my feelings hurt. Oh, please. Why are you wearing your feelings on your shoulders for people you don't even know in the first place? That's the last thing you should have, some sort of emotion because somebody treated you that way. The problem is you have this illusion of inclusion. In reality, they don't think that way. Think about this. You move around them, they get away from you. You go to a school with them, they leave the school. Everywhere you come around them, you notice they leave you. They don't want to be around you. You notice that? This is not me just making it up and being mean. It's a term called white flight. It's only white flight when you come around. I'm just saying. So some of them, I'm gonna say a lot of them, don't like you. They don't. And I base that on their actions. And I care less what some of y'all say, oh, there he go again. So you're going to label all white people that way? Didn't say all. Never say it all. But we have to look at the actions. And the action says a lot react that way based on the terms white flight. White flight is a real thing. And we have some white people in this country, in America, would love to get away with saying I only rent to whites only. And under Donald Trump, they may get to do that eventually. You never know. Because like I say, Donald Trump taking this all the way back to the 50s. We see it every day what he's doing. But with this situation and those kids, you haven't told those kids about discrimination, brother. You in a relationship with a white woman. That is the relationship that is the most volatile relationship you can have in the area of white supremacy. That relationship has a 50% divorce rate, at least here in America. The highest out of any coupling, whether you with a person of your own race or not. Even if you got with someone outside of your race as a black person, that divorce rate is not that high versus when you with a white woman because of all the stuff that come along with that. Yet you don't tell your kids anything about that you dealing with this mess. They're going to be shocked and surprised. Y'all wrong for that mess. You need to tell your kids what they're going to deal with. Sit up there and have them acting surprised and thinking everybody's their friend. Everybody like them like that. Well, as a parent, you're supposed to prepare your children for reality. And that's a reality they must deal with. So, don't be shocked. Just find somewhere else to stay that will accept you. That's all. It is what it is. Blast that woman. Tell who she is. Put her picture up on social media and go on by your business. That's all how you do that. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, subscribe for more news stories.